Welcome to the first of our time travel paradoxes, a gentle riddle woven into the fabric of the universe. Tonight, we begin with the Bootstrap Paradox, a story that loops through time, soft and endless, like a dream you can't quite trace. Picture yourself floating in a quiet space, stars glimmering faintly, as we step into a tale that bends the rules of cause and effect. Let's wander together, slowly, into the heart of this mystery. Imagine a young writer named Clara, sitting at her desk in the year 2025. Her room is bathed in the soft glow of a single lamp, casting long shadows across scattered pages. The air is still, save for the faint scratch of her pen as she struggles to finish her novel. It's a story about time travel, one she's poured her heart into. But the ending eludes her. Her characters feel incomplete, their journeys unresolved. Clara sighs, resting her head in her hands, the weight of her unfinished work pressing down. She dreams of a breakthrough, something to tie the threads together, but inspiration feels distant, like a star just out of reach. One evening, as rain taps gently against her window, a knock at the door startles her. She opens it to find no one there, only a small, unmarked package on the doorstep. Curious, she brings it inside, her fingers brushing the rough paper as she unwraps it. Inside is a manuscript, its pages worn but pristine, titled with the name of her novel. Her breath catches. She flips through it and her eyes widen. It's her story, every word, every scene, but completed, polished, perfect. The ending she's been chasing is there, vivid and alive, solving every puzzle she's been wrestling with. But at the bottom of the cover page, a date, 2075, 50 years in the future. Clara's mind races, but her heart stays calm, as if the manuscript carries a quiet magic. She sits, reading through the night, her lamp flickering. The story is everything she hoped it would be. Brilliant, moving, a masterpiece. She feels a strange connection to it, as if it's hers yet not hers. The ideas are familiar but sharper, as if her own thoughts have been refined by time. She wonders who wrote it, how it reached her, but no author's name appears. The manuscript feels like a gift, a whisper from the future, urging her forward. Days pass, and Clara makes a decision. She types up the manuscript, word for word, and sends it to her publisher. She tells herself it's temporary, a placeholder until she finds her own ending, but deep down, she knows the truth. This is the story she was meant to share. The book is published under her name and it soars. Critics call it a timeless classic, a groundbreaking exploration of time, travel. Readers adore it, quoting lines Clara feels she's always known. Her name becomes synonymous with genius, etched into literary history. Clara stands at book signings, smiling softly, but a quiet question lingers in her mind. Where did the manuscript come from? Years slip by, gentle as a river. Clara grows older, her hair streaked with silver, her eyes still bright with curiosity. In 2070, time travel becomes a reality, no longer the stuff of her novel but a service you can buy, like a ticket to a distant city. Clara, now wealthy from her book's success, decides to take a journey. She wants to see the future, to understand how her story has shaped the world. She steps into a sleek time machine, its hum soothing, like a lullaby. The air shimmers, and she arrives in 2075, the year stamped on her mysterious manuscript. The future is dazzling yet familiar, a world of quiet innovation. Clara wanders through a city where lights pulse like stars, her heart light. She visits a library, its shelves lined with books that feel like old friends. There, in a glass case, she finds a copy of her novel, worn but cherished, labeled a cultural treasure. She smiles, but her curiosity tugs. On a whim, she buys a fresh copy, its pages crisp, and sits by a window, the future unfolding outside. As she leaps through it, a thought strikes her, soft but insistent. She could send this book back to her younger self, to 25, to the moment she needed it most. Clara hesitates, her fingers tracing the cover. It feels right, like completing a circle. She packages the book, leaving no name, no note, and mails it through a time-travel postal service, a marvel of the future. She imagines her younger self opening it, wide-eyed, just as she did all those years ago. The act feels like a gift, not just to herself, but to the story itself, as if it's meant to live forever. She returns to her time, content, the question of the manuscript's origin fading like a dream. This is the Bootstrap Paradox, a loop where time folds in on itself. The manuscript exists because Clara sent it back, but she only sent it back because she received it. It has no beginning, no creator, like a melody that's always been playing. The book shaped her life, her career, her world, but its origin is a mystery, a knot in the fabric of time. It's as if the story wrote itself, passed from future to past, an endless cycle with no source. Let's linger on Clara's story, soft and curious. Picture her younger self, reading the manuscript under lamplight, her heart racing with possibility. Now, picture her older self, mailing the book, a quiet smile on her face. The two moments are connected not by a line, but by a circle, each enabling the other. The paradox asks, who wrote the book? Was it Clara, the future, or time itself? The answer drifts, elusive, like a cloud across the moon. Some say the Bootstrap Paradox reveals a universe where cause and effect can blur. The manuscript isn't born in a single moment. It exists because of the loop, a self-sustaining story. Scientists ponder if objects or ideas like Clara's book could emerge this way, sourceless, eternal. Philosophers wonder if it suggests time isn't a straight path but a tapestry, woven with threads that circle back. Imagine a watch, passed from a future you to a past you, with no one ever crafting it. It simply is, a quiet miracle of time. Others argue the paradox is a puzzle with a hidden answer. Perhaps the manuscript had an author, long forgotten, whose work was caught in the loop. Or maybe Clara herself wrote it in a moment she doesn't recall, her creativity sparked by the future's echo. The truth is soft, like a whisper you can't quite hear. The paradox doesn't demand a solution. It invites you to wonder, to let the question float as you relax. Picture Clara now, in her quiet home, years after her journey. She sits by a window, the manuscript on her desk, its pages glowing in the moonlight. She doesn't need to know where it came from. It's hers, yet not hers, a story that belongs to time. She feels at peace, as if she's part of something larger, a cycle that spins beyond her understanding. The stars outside twinkle, each a story, each a loop, each a paradox waiting to be told. What would you do if a piece of your future arrived at your door? Imagine a letter, a song, a painting, sent back to guide you. Would you embrace it, trusting its mystery, or search for its source? The question is gentle, not pressing, a thought to cradle as you drift. The Bootstrap Paradox doesn't ask for answers. It asks you to feel the wonder of time, its loops and tangles, its quiet magic. As we leave Clara's story, let your mind soften. Picture the manuscript, its pages turning in an endless cycle, carried by time's gentle current. The paradox is a lullaby, soothing and strange, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it wrap around you, warm and familiar, like a blanket woven from starlight. The universe is vast, and its mysteries are kind, guiding you towards sleep. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your breath slow and even. The Bootstrap Paradox lingers, but it's distant now, a soft hum in the background. Clara's story is complete, yet endless, a loop that holds you gently as you float. Let the stars fade, let the lamp dim, let time itself become a dream. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox carry you into the quiet night. Tonight, we step into the Grandfather Paradox, a story that tangles the threads of past and future, soft and puzzling, like a dream that shifts just as you reach for it. Picture yourself resting under a canopy of stars, the night air cool and quiet, as we wander into a tale that questions the very nature of existence. Let's drift together slowly into this soothing mystery. Imagine a young man named Ethan standing in a laboratory in the year 2030. The room hums with the soft glow of machines, their lights pulsing like distant fireflies. Ethan is a tinkerer, a dreamer, his hands steady as he adjusts the dials of a sleek device he's built, a time machine. Its metal surface gleams under the fluorescent lights, and its low hum feels like a heartbeat, steady and alive. Ethan's not driven by fame or adventure, but by something deeper, something personal. His family has carried a shadow for generations, a wound that began with his grandfather's choices in 1950. It was a single decision, a reckless act that set off a chain of pain, rippling through decades, touching Ethan's life before he was born. Ethan's grandfather, Thomas, was a kind man, but impulsive. In 1950, he made a choice that led to a feud, a loss, a fracture that shaped the family's story. Ethan grew up hearing the tales, feeling the weight of inherited sorrow. As he stands in his lab, his fingers brush the time machine's controls, and his heart stirs with purpose. He wants to go back, to find Thomas before that fateful moment, to warn him, to rewrite the story. The idea feels like a quiet calling, a chance to heal what's been broken. He programs the machine for 1950, his breath steady, his resolve soft but firm. The air shimmers, and he steps through, leaving 2030 behind. The world of 1950 unfolds like a painting, all sepia tones and gentle edges. Ethan arrives in a small town where the streets are lined with the brick buildings and classic cars rumble by. The air smells of fresh bread from a nearby bakery, and children laugh as they chase a ball down the sidewalk. Ethan feels a strange warmth, as if he's stepped into a memory that's not his own. He finds his grandfather, young and vibrant, sitting at a diner counter, a cup of coffee steaming in front of him. Thomas is in his 20s, his eyes bright with dreams, unaware of the choice that will change everything. Ethan sits nearby, his heart pounding, a folded letter in his pocket. He's written it carefully, a warning disguised as advice, urging Thomas to avoid the path that leads to ruin. Ethan hesitates, watching Thomas laugh with a friend. The moment feels fragile, like a soap bubble floating in the sun. He slides the letter across the counter, his voice low as he says it's from a stranger who means well. Thomas reads it, his brow furrowing, then nods slowly, promising to think it over. Ethan feels a flicker of hope, like a candle catching flame. He returns to his time machine, hidden in a quiet alley, and steps back to 2030, the world blurring around him. He expects to find a brighter present, a family whole and unscarred, a life reshaped by his quiet act. But when Ethan arrives, the world is wrong. His lab is gone, replaced by an empty lot. The city feels unfamiliar, its skyline altered, its rhythm off. He checks for his family, his home, his life, but they're missing. Records show no trace of his parents, no hint of his existence. Panic rises, then settles into a heavy calm. By saving his grandfather, Ethan has erased himself. If Thomas avoided the mistake, the chain of events that led to Ethan's birth, his parents meeting, their love, his life, never happened. He's a stranger in a world he helped create, a ghost in time's shadow. This is the grandfather paradox, a riddle that whispers of impossibility. If Ethan prevents his grandfather's mistake, he prevents his own birth. But if he was never born, how could he have traveled back to change anything? The act of going back undoes the reason for going back, like a knot that tightens as you pull. The universe seems to pause, unsure how to untangle itself, caught in a loop of what-ifs and maybes. Let's linger on Ethan's story, soft and curious. Picture him in 1950, sitting in the diner, the letter trembling in his hand. Now, picture him in 2030, standing in a world that doesn't know him, the stars above indifferent. The paradox asks, how can time allow such a contradiction? If Ethan changes the past, he erases the future that sent him there. Yet, if he doesn't change the past, he's born and the cycle begins again. It's a puzzle with no edges, a story that folds in on itself. Some theorists suggest time has a safeguard, a gentle hand that keeps paradoxes at bay. Perhaps Ethan's letter was lost, or Thomas ignored it, preserving the original timeline. Maybe the universe nudges events to stay consistent, like a river finding its course. Others propose parallel worlds, where Ethan's actions create a new reality, a timeline where his family thrives, but he's absent, while the original timeline hums along, untouched. In one world, Ethan exists, ready to travel back. In another, he's a memory that never was. The idea feels like a lullaby, soothing, yet strange, a universe that splits to hold all possibilities. Ethan wanders the altered 2030, his steps slow, his mind heavy with wonder. He finds a park, its benches worn, its trees whispering in the breeze. He sits, gazing at the sky, and imagines his grandfather, young and hopeful, reading the letter. Did it matter? Did it change anything? The question feels less urgent now, like a wave smoothing over sand. Ethan feels a quiet peace, as if he's part of something larger, a story that doesn't need an ending. He's changed time, or maybe time has changed him, but the stars above feel kind, their light steady. What would you do if you could step into the past? Imagine standing before a moment that shaped your life, a choice, a chance, a loss. Would you rewrite it, knowing it might rewrite you? The question is gentle, a thought to cradle as you drift. The grandfather paradox doesn't demand answers. It invites you to feel the weight of time, its delicate balance, its quiet power. Ethan's story is a reminder that every choice echoes, soft and far-reaching, like a pebble in a still pond. Some say the paradox suggests time is fragile, easily broken by a single act. Others believe it's resilient, weaving contradictions into its fabric. Picture Ethan, his time machine silent, its hum faded. He's a traveler without a destination, yet he feels at home in the mystery. The paradox wraps around him, warm and familiar, like a blanket under the stars. It's not about solving the riddle, it's about resting in its embrace, letting it carry you deeper into calm. As we leave Ethan's story, let your mind soften. Picture the diner in 1950, its warmth lingering, the letter on the counter. Now picture the park in 2030, Ethan's breath slow, the night sky vast. The grandfather paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a leaf on a stream, guiding you toward peace. The universe is kind, its mystery soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as air. Ethan's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip toward sleep. Let the stars dim, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Welcome, traveler, to another soft bend in our journey through time. Tonight, we slip into the Predestination Paradox, a story that weaves past and future into a single endless thread, gentle and mysterious, like a dream that feels destined to unfold. Picture yourself lying beneath a velvet sky, stars pulsing faintly, as we step into a tale that questions choice and fate. Let's wander together, slowly, into this soothing enigma. Imagine a scientist named Sarah, working in a quiet lab in the year 2040. The room is lit by the soft glow of screens, their hum a steady lullaby. Sarah is brilliant, her mind sharp with curiosity, her heart driven by a lifelong passion for time travel. Her desk is cluttered with notes, equations scrawled in looping handwriting, each one a step toward unlocking the secrets of the universe. She's close to a breakthrough, but something's missing. A key, a spark to make her theories real. Sarah dreams of building a time machine, not for fame, but to understand time itself, to feel its rhythm like a song she's always known. One morning, as sunlight filters through the lab's windows, a small envelope arrives, slipped under the door. Sarah picks it up, her fingers tracing its worn edges. Inside is a single sheet of paper, covered in her own handwriting, though she doesn't recall writing it. The note contains detailed blueprints for a time machine, precise and elegant, solving every problem she's been grappling with. At the bottom, a date, 1980, 60 years in the past. Sarah's breath catches, but her mind stays calm, as if the note carries a quiet certainty, like a memory she hasn't lived yet. She studies the blueprints, her eyes tracing lines that feel familiar, as if she's seen them in a dream. The design is perfect, a map to the machine she's been chasing. Questions swirl. Where did this come from? Who wrote it? But they fade under the note's strange pull. Sarah decides to build the machine, following the instructions exactly. She works through long nights, her lab alive with the soft clink of tools and the hum of circuits. The machine takes shape, a sleek device that glows like moonlight, its presence soothing, like a promise kept. When it's finished, Sarah tests it, and the air shimmers. It works. Time bends at her touch, a river she can navigate. Sarah's curiosity deepens, like a tide pulling her forward. She decides to use the machine, not to explore the future, but to visit 1980, the year on the note. She wants to understand its origin, to unravel the mystery of the blueprints. She programs the machine, her finger steady, her heart light with wonder. The world blurs, and she steps into 1980, a bustling city alive with neon lights and the hum of old radios. The air smells of rain and coffee, and people move with a rhythm that feels both foreign and familiar. Sarah blends in, her clothes chosen to match the era, her presence quiet, like a shadow passing through. She wanders the city, the note tucked in her pocket, its weight a gentle reminder. She doesn't know why she's here, but the blueprints feel like a clue, a thread connecting her to this moment. On a whim, she visits a small cafe, its windows fogged with warmth. Inside, she sits, watching the world unfold, and a thought settles, soft but clear. She pulls out a fresh sheet of paper and begins to write, copying the blueprints from memory. Her handwriting flows, identical to the note she received, as if guided by an unseen hand. When she's done, she seals the paper in an envelope, unmarked, and leaves it on a park bench, a place she feels somehow she's meant to choose. Sarah returns to 2040, the time machine's hum cradling her like a lullaby. Her lab is unchanged, the note still on her desk, its edges worn from her touch. Life continues, her work celebrated, her machine a marvel. But the question lingers, soft as a whisper. Where did the blueprints come from? She wrote them in 1980, because she received them in 2040, but she only received them because she wrote them. The answer is a circle, a loop with no beginning, a story that writes itself. This is the Predestination Paradox, a tale where time folds into a seamless ring. The blueprints exist because Sarah brought them back, but she only brought them back because they existed. There's no origin, no moment of creation, just an endless cycle, like a river flowing into itself. The paradox asks, was Sarah free to choose, or was her path set by the note's arrival? It's a riddle that hums, softly, inviting you to wonder without urgency. Let's linger on Sarah's story, gentle and curious. Picture her in 2040, reading the note under the lab's soft lights, her eyes bright with possibility. Now, picture her in 1980, writing the blueprints in the cafe, the world alive around her. The two moments are one, connected not by a line but by a loop, each enabling the other. The paradox whispers, who created the machine? Was it Sarah, the past, or time itself? The answer drifts like a leaf on a stream, elusive yet comforting. Some say the Predestination Paradox suggests destiny shapes our lives. Sarah had to write the note, had to build the machine, because time demanded it. Her choices feel free, but they're part of a larger pattern, a tapestry woven before she was born. Others argue she chose her path, even within the loop, her will blending with fate, like colors in a sunset. Imagine the blueprints passed through time, a gift from Sarah to herself, a creation without a creator. The idea feels like a lullaby, soothing and strange, a universe where time holds all possibilities in balance. Sarah sits in her lab now, years after her journey, the note framed on her wall. She's older, her hair touched with gray, her eyes still alight with wonder. The machine hums softly in the corner, a reminder of her place in time's circle. She doesn't need to know where the blueprints began. They're hers, yet not hers, a story that belongs to the universe. She feels at peace, as if she's danced with time and found its rhythm, a melody that plays forever. What would you do if a piece of your future found you? Imagine a note, a drawing, a whisper from tomorrow, guiding your hand. Would you follow its path, trusting its certainty, or carve your own? The question is gentle, a thought to cradle as you drift. The Predestination Paradox doesn't ask for answers. It invites you to feel the flow of time, its loops and whispers, its quiet magic. Sarah's story is a reminder that every moment echoes, soft and eternal, like a star's light reaching across the years. Some say the paradox proves free will is a dream, our choices scripted by time's hand. Others believe it's a dance, where will and fate move together, creating patterns we can't see. Picture Sarah, her lab glowing, the note a silent partner in her work. She's a traveler within a loop, yet she feels free, her heart light as she rests in the time's embrace. The paradox wraps around her, warm and familiar like a blanket under the stars. It's not about solving the riddle. It's about sinking into its mystery, letting it guide you deeper into calm. As we leave Sarah's story, let your mind soften. Picture the cafe in 1980, its warmth lingering, the note on the bench. Now picture the lab in 2040. Sarah's breath slow, the stars outside vast. The Predestination Paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift like a cloud across the moon, guiding you toward peace. The universe is kind, its mystery soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as air. Sarah's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip toward sleep. Let the lights dim, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Picture yourself floating in the quiet expanse of space, galaxies shimmering faintly as we step into a tale that wonders why the cosmos feels so silent. Let's drift together, slowly, into this soothing enigma. Imagine a future Earth, the year 2100, where humanity has tamed the flow of time. Cities glow with soft light, their towers reaching toward the stars, and time machines hum in laboratories, their gentle pulses like heartbeats of possibility. Scientists, explorers, and dreamers use these devices to visit every era, from the age of dinosaurs to the dawn of civilization. The past is an open book, its pages turned with care, each journey a chance to learn, to marvel, to connect with the story of life. Yet, as humanity gazes outward, a quiet question lingers, one that has echoed for centuries. Where are the aliens? The universe is vast, its stars countless, each a potential home for life. Scientists like Amara, a young astronomer in 2100, spend their nights scanning the skies, their telescopes trained on distant worlds. Amara's office is a haven of calm, filled with star charts and the soft glow of screens. She loves the stillness of her work, the way the universe feels both infinite and intimate. But the silence puzzles her. The Fermi Paradox, named for a scientist who once asked why we see no signs of extraterrestrial life, weighs on her mind. If the universe is teeming with civilizations advanced beyond imagination, Why haven't they reached us? Why do the stars stay quiet? Amara's work takes a new turn when she joins a team studying time travel's implications. In a sleek lab, surrounded by the hum of temporal devices, she wonders if the answer to the Fermi paradox lies not in space but in time. Imagine an alien civilization, millions of years ahead of humanity, their technology so advanced it feels like magic. They've mastered time travel, slipping through history as easily as we walk through a garden. They could visit Earth's past, watching pterodactyls soar or campfires flicker in ancient human villages. Their ships, cloaked in shimmering light, might hover above our ancestors, silent observers of our story. Yet, Amara finds no trace of them, no artifacts, no signals, no whispers in the fossil record. This is the Fermi Paradox connection, a riddle that ties the silence of the cosmos to the loops of time travel. If aliens have time machines, why haven't we met them? Why don't we find their footprints in our past? Amara sits under the stars, her telescope a quiet companion, and considers a possibility, soft and unsettling. What if time travel is a trap, a paradox that erases those who wield it? Imagine an alien explorer traveling to Earth's Jurassic era, their ship gliding over ancient forests. They land, careful not to disturb, but a single misstep, a crushed plant, a displaced stone, alters the delicate web of evolution. A species fails to emerge, a chain of life unravels, and the alien's own civilization, dependent on that chain, never comes to be. The paradox unfolds like a gentle wave. If the aliens change their past, they prevent their own existence. Without their civilization, they never build time machines, never travel back, never cause the change. Time hiccups, caught in a loop of contradiction, a cycle that collapses into silence. Amara imagines countless species, brilliant and bold, discovering time travel only to vanish in its tangles. Their absence becomes the answer to the Fermi paradox. The universe is quiet because time travel is a self-destructing gift, a light that burns too bright to last. Let's linger on Amara's story, soft and curious. Picture her in her office, starlight filtering through the window, her charts glowing with possibility. Now, picture an alien traveler, their ship a whisper in the Jurassic dawn, unaware of the ripples they create. The paradox asks, is time travel the reason we're alone? Does it guard the universe's silence, erasing those who tamper with history? The question drifts like a comet's tail, elusive yet comforting. Some theorists suggest time has rules, gentle but firm, to prevent such paradoxes. Perhaps alien travelers are bound by a cosmic law, unable to alter the past in ways that undo their future. Their visits might be fleeting, their presence hidden, like shadows that never touch the ground. Others propose that time travel is rare, even among advanced species. It could be dangerous, unstable, or forbidden, a technology shunned by those wise enough to see its risks. Amara imagines a universe where civilizations choose to stay in their present, their signals faint, their time machines locked away, preserving the quiet we hear. Another possibility hums softly in Amara's mind, parallel timelines. Each alien journey might split reality, creating a new world where their civilization fades, while the original timeline remains untouched. Earth's history stays pristine, free of alien footprints, because every change branches into a separate story. The universe we know is one of many, a tapestry of possibilities, each thread a different silence. The idea feels like a lullaby, soothing and vast, a cosmos that holds every outcome in its embrace. Amara stands on a hilltop now, years after her theories began, her telescope pointed at the stars. The night is calm, the air cool against her skin. She feels a quiet connection to the universe, as if its silence is a message, not an absence. She wonders if aliens are out there watching, careful not to disturb time's delicate balance. Or perhaps they're gone, lost to the paradoxes they couldn't escape. The stars twinkle, each a story, each a question, and Amara feels at peace, part of a mystery larger than herself. What would you ask the stars if you could hear their secrets? Imagine standing under the night sky, a signal from another world, flickering in the distance. Would you seek their travelers, their time machines, or let the silence be? The question is gentle, a thought, to cradle as you drift. The Fermi Paradox. Connection doesn't demand answers. It invites you to feel the vastness of time, its quiet wonders, its hidden loops. Amara's story is a reminder that the universe speaks in whispers, soft and eternal, like light traveling across eons. Some say the paradox suggests time travel as a cosmic filter, weeding out civilizations that tamper with history. Others believe the silence is temporary, that we'll meet our neighbors when we're ready, our own time machines humming in harmony with theirs. Picture Amara, her telescope steady, the stars a silent choir. She's a dreamer in a quiet universe, yet she feels whole, her heart light, as she rests in the mystery. The paradox wraps around her, warm and familiar, like a blanket woven from starlight. It's not about solving the riddle, it's about sinking into its calm, letting it guide you deeper into peace. As we leave Amara's story, let your mind soften. Picture the lab in 2100, its hum lingering, the stars beyond the window. Now picture the Jurassic forest, an alien ship gliding above, its light a fleeting dream. The Fermi Paradox connection is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a galaxy spinning in the dark, guiding you toward calm. The universe is kind, its mystery soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as stardust. Amara's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip toward sleep. Let the stars dim, let the cosmos blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here, in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Welcome, traveler, to another gentle turn in our journey through the mysteries of time. Tonight, we step into the information paradox, a story that dances with the origins of knowledge, soft and elusive, like a whisper carried on the wind. Picture yourself resting in a quiet library, shelves stretching into the shadows, as we wander into a tale that questions where ideas begin. Let's drift together, slowly, into this soothing enigma. Imagine a historian named Leo, working in a cozy study in the year 2050. His room is warmed by the glow of a desk lamp, its light pooling over stacks of books and handwritten notes. The air smells faintly of old paper, a scent that calms Leo's restless mind. He's a seeker of lost stories, obsessed with a book from 1900, a rare text said to hold insights into the human heart. No copies survive. Its pages vanish to time, leaving only rumors and fragments in dusty archives. Leo dreams of reading it, of touching its words, but the trail has gone cold, like a star faded from the sky. One evening, as moonlight spills through the window, Leo finds a package on his doorstep, plain and unmarked. His fingers brush the rough wrapping as he opens it, revealing a book, its cover worn but intact. The title matches the lost text he's been chasing, its pages crisp despite their age. Leo's heart stirs, a mix of wonder and disbelief. He sits at his desk, the lamp casting soft shadows, and begins to read. The words are vivid, profound, a tapestry of ideas that feel both ancient and alive. The book is everything he imagined, a masterpiece that seems to speak directly to him, as if it's always been his. Leo turns the pages, lost in the story, but a question hums softly in his mind. Where did this book come from? There's no author's name, no publication date, only a faint inscription. For Leo, from the future. The words feel like a riddle, warm and inviting, yet tinged with mystery. He wonders if it's a prank, a gift, or something stranger. But the book's pull is undeniable. Its ideas spark his own, filling gaps in his research, lighting paths he hadn't seen. Leo decides to share it, typing the text word for word, and publishes it under his name, calling it a rediscovered classic. The world embraces it, scholars praising its depth, readers cherishing its wisdom. Leo's name becomes tied to the book, a quiet legacy born from a single, impossible moment. Years pass, gentle as a sigh. In 2070, time travel is no longer a dream but a reality, a service as common as a train ride. Leo, now older, his hair silvered, feels the weight of the book's mystery. He's celebrated, but the question of its origin lingers, like a melody he can't place. With a ticket to the past, he decides to travel to 1900, to the era of the book's supposed creation. He wants to find its author, to understand how it reached him, to close the circle that's haunted his dreams. The time machine hums, its light soft and steady, and Leo steps through, the world blurring into sepia tones. The year 1900 is a world of gaslights and cobblestones, its air thick with the scent of coal and roses. Leo wanders a bustling city, his clothes tailored to blend in, his heart light with anticipation. He visits libraries, bookstores, and archives, searching for traces of the book. But no one knows it. No author claims it. No publisher recalls it. The text exists only in Leo's memory, a ghost in time's shadow. He sits in a quiet park, the book in his hands, its pages glowing in the sunlight. A thought settles, soft but clear. Perhaps he's meant to bring it here, to plant the seed that will find him later. Leo leaves the book in a small bookshop, tucking it among forgotten volumes. The inscription, "For Leo from the future," written in his own hand. He imagines it waiting, patient and silent, until it's sent to 2050, to the moment he needed it most. The act feels right, like a brushstroke completing a painting. He returns to 2070, his study unchanged, the book still on his shelf, its mystery intact. He smiles, content, as if he's danced with time and found its rhythm. This is the information paradox, a loop where knowledge flows without a source. The book exists because Leo brought it back, but he only brought it back because he received it. It has no author, no origin, like a story born from the universe itself. The paradox asks, where did the information begin? Was it Leo, the past, or time's quiet magic? The answer is a circle, warm and endless, a riddle that hums softly as you drift. Let's linger on Leo's story, gentle and curious. Picture him in 2050, reading the book under lamplight, his eyes bright with wonder. Now, picture him in 1900, leaving it in the shop, the world alive around him. The two moments are one, each enabling the other, a loop with no beginning. The paradox whispers, who wrote the book? Was it created, or did it simply exist, passed through time like a star's light? The question floats like a leaf on a pond, soothing yet elusive. Some say the information paradox suggests time allows knowledge to emerge from nowhere, defying the rules of creation. The book is a gift, sourceless and eternal, a fragment of the universe's mind. Scientists ponder if information can loop through time, stable and unchanging, a cycle that needs no start. Philosophers wonder if it hints at a reality where ideas are timeless, waiting to be found by those who seek them. Imagine the book, its pages turning in an endless dance, carried by time's gentle current, a story that belongs to no one and everyone. Others argue there's a hidden origin, a forgotten author whose work was caught in the loop, their name erased by time's passage. Or perhaps Leo himself shaped the book, his thoughts blending with the future's echo, creating something new yet ancient. The truth is soft, like a whisper in the dark, and it doesn't need solving. The paradox invites you to rest in its mystery, to let the question cradle you as you relax. Leo sits in his study now, years after his journey, the book open before him. He's older, his hand steady, his heart at peace. The text feels like an old friend, his words familiar yet always new. He doesn't need to know where it began. It's his, yet not his, a story that belongs to time. The lamp glows, the night outside vast, and Leo feels part of something larger, a cycle that spins beyond his understanding. The stars twinkle, each a story, each a loop, each a paradox waiting to be told. What would you seek if you could touch the past? Imagine finding a lost book, a song, a secret sent to guide you. Would you share it, trusting its mystery, or search for its roots? The question is gentle, a thought to hold as you drift. The information paradox doesn't ask for answers. It invites you to feel the flow of time, its quiet gifts, its endless circles. Leo's story is a reminder that knowledge echoes soft and eternal, like a whisper across the years. Some say the paradox suggests time is a canvas, painted with ideas that need no painter. Others believe it's a mirror reflecting our own creations back to us, disguised as destiny. Picture Leo, his study glowing, the book a silent partner in his work. He's a traveler, within a loop, yet he feels whole, his heart light as he rests in time's embrace. The paradox wraps around him, warm and familiar, like a blanket under the stars. It's not about solving the riddle, it's about sinking into its calm, letting it guide you deeper into peace. As we leave Leo's story, let your mind soften. Picture the bookshop in 1900, its shelves heavy with secrets, the book waiting. Now, picture the study in 2050, Leo's breath slow, the stars outside vast. The information paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a page turning in the dark, guiding you toward calm. The universe is kind, its mysteries soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as air. Leo's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip toward sleep. Let the lamp dim, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Imagine a physicist named Mia, working in a serene laboratory in the year 2060. The room is bathed in the soft glow of monitors, their light dancing across sleek equipment. Mia is a thinker, her mind alive with the rhythms of the universe, her heart tuned to the possibilities of time travel. Her lab is a haven, filled with the hum of machines and the faint scent of ozone, a space where ideas feel as tangible as the tools she holds. She's been experimenting with a time portal, a shimmering ring of energy that pulses like a star, its gentle hum a lullaby to her restless curiosity. Mia dreams of understanding time, not just as a concept, but as a force she can touch, like a river she can trace. One evening, as twilight paints the lab in hues of blue, Mia prepares a simple experiment. She places a billiard ball on a smooth and touch track, its surface gleaming under the light. The portal, tuned to send objects back just 1 minute, glows softly at the track's end. Mia's plan is straightforward. Roll the ball toward the portal, let it pass through, and watch it emerge in the past, a quiet test of time's mechanics. She nudges the ball, her fingers steady, and it rolls, smooth and deliberate, toward the glowing ring. The air feels alive, as if the universe is watching, its breath held in anticipation. As the ball nears the portal, something unexpected happens. Another ball, identical to the first, emerges from the portal's light, a minute older, sent back from the future. It moves with purpose, colliding with the original ball just before it reaches the portal. The impact is soft, a gentle tap, but it's enough to knock the first ball off course, sending it rolling harmlessly to side. Mia watches, her eyes wide, her mind racing but calm. The ball never enters the portal, which means it never travels back to cause the collision. Yet the collision happened, the second ball proof of a journey that now seems impossible. This is the Predestination Paradox, a riddle that tangles time's threads into a knot. If the ball was deflected, it couldn't have gone through the portal to come back and deflect itself. But if it wasn't deflected, it would have entered, sending its future self to cause the collision. The universe seems to stutter, caught in a contradiction, a loop that defies its own logic. Mia stands in the lab, the portals hum steady, the billiard balls resting quietly as if they hold the secret to time's heart. Let's linger on Mia's story, gentle and curious. Picture her in the lab, the portal glowing, the first ball rolling toward its destiny. Now, picture the second ball, emerging from the future, its path a quiet disruption. The paradox asks, how can time allow such a contradiction? If the ball doesn't enter the portal, the collision never happens, yet the collision is real, a fact etched in the moment. The question drifts like a star blinking in the night, soothing yet elusive. Mia runs the experiment again, her hands steady, her heart open to the mystery. Each time the outcome shifts, as if time is searching for balance. In one trial, the ball grazes the portal's edge, emerging at an angle that nudges its past self just enough to let both continue, a stable path where no paradox arises. In another, the portal flickers, as if refusing the contradiction, and the ball rolls through undisturbed. Mia begins to see a pattern, soft and intricate, like a melody woven through the chaos. Time seems to adjust, finding ways to resolve the conflict as if it's a living thing, gentle, and wise. Some physicists, like Mia, propose a principle of self-consistency, a quiet rule that keeps time's fabric intact. The universe might ensure that events align, allowing only outcomes where the ball's journey makes sense. The collision happens, but in a way that lets the ball enter the portal, perhaps at a slight angle, creating a loop that holds no contradiction. The idea feels like a lullaby, soothing and elegant, a cosmos that nudges its pieces into harmony. Mia imagines time as a river, its currents bending to avoid sharp rocks, always finding a path to flow forward. Others suggest multiple timelines, each a soft echo of the other. In one reality, the ball is deflected, and the paradox dissolves because the future ball belongs to a different world. In another, the ball passes through, creating a timeline where the collision never occurs. The universes branch, like roots of a tree, each holding its own truth, each preserving time's delicate balance. Mia pictures these worlds layered like pages in a book, each one a story, each one a possibility, and the thought wraps around her, warm and comforting. Mia sits in her lab now, years after her experiments, the portal quiet, its light a soft memory. She's older, her eyes crinkled with wisdom, her heart still alight with wonder. The billiard balls rest on a shelf, their surfaces catching the lamplight, silent witnesses to time's dance. She doesn't need to solve the paradox. It's a riddle, yes, but also a gift, a reminder that the universe is vast and kind. Its mysteries meant to be savored, not unraveled. The stars outside her window twinkle, each a moment, each a loop, each a story, waiting to be told. What would you do with a portal to the past? Imagine sending something back, a note, a token, a thought, knowing it might change, the moment it came from. Would you test time's limits, or let it rest, trusting its quiet wisdom? The question is gentle, a thought to cradle as you drift. The Predestination Paradox doesn't demand answers. It invites you to feel the pulse of time, its delicate balance, its soft corrections. Mia's story is a reminder that every action echoes, gentle and far-reaching, like a ripple in a still pond. Some say the paradox suggests time is rigid, its rules unbreakable, guiding events to avoid contradiction. Others believe it's flexible, bending to accommodate our choices, weaving paradoxes into its fabric. Picture Mia, her lab glowing, the portal a silent partner in her work. She's a dreamer in a world of loops, yet she feels whole, her heart light as she rests in time's embrace. The paradox wraps around her, warm and familiar like a blanket under the stars. It's not about solving the riddle. It's about sinking into its calm, letting it guide you deeper into peace. As we leave Maya's story, let your mind soften. Picture the lab in 2060, the portal's hum lingering, the billiard balls gleaming. Now, picture the moment of collision, a quiet dance of past and future, held in time's gentle hand. The Predestination Paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a star's light fading into dawn, guiding you toward calm. The universe is kind, its mystery soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as air. Mia's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip toward sleep. Let the labs glow dim, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Welcome, traveler, to another gentle curve in our journey through the wonders of time. Tonight, we slip into the ontological paradox, a story that hums with the mystery of creation, soft and eternal, like a song that's always been playing. Picture yourself resting in a quiet concert hall, the air warm with anticipation as we step into a tale that questions where things truly begin. Let's wander together, slowly, into this soothing enigma. Imagine a composer named Daniel, sitting in a cozy studio in the year 2035. The room is lit by the soft glow of candles, their flames flickering like tiny stars. A piano stands in the corner, its keys worn from years of devotion, and sheets of music lie scattered across a wooden desk. Daniel is a dreamer, his heart tuned to the rhythms of sound, his mind chasing a symphony that's haunted him for months. He calls it the Symphony of Time, a piece meant to capture the ebb and flow of existence, but its final notes elude him. He plays fragments, his fingers dancing, but the melody feels incomplete, like a story missing its ending. One night, as rain patters against the studio's windows, Daniel finds a small package tucked among his papers. It's unmarked, its wrapping plain, but it feels heavy with promise. Inside is a recording, a vinyl disc labeled Symphony of Time, dated 2080. Daniel's breath catches, his curiosity alight. He places the disc on an old turntable, its needle settling with a soft click, and the music begins. The notes are breathtaking, a cascade of sound that weaves joy and longing, past and future into a single, perfect arc. It's the symphony he's been chasing, every chord exactly as he imagined, yet richer, as if time itself has polished it. He listens, spellbound, the candles glowing brighter, the room alive with melody. The recording ends, but its echo lingers, warm and familiar. Daniel feels a strange connection, as if the music is his, yet not his. There's no composer's name, no hint of who created it, only the date, 2080, decades away. He wonders how it reached him, why it bears the title he chose, but the questions are soft, like ripples in a pond. The symphony is perfect, a gift he can't ignore. Daniel transcribes it note by note, his pen moving as if guided by memory. He performs it, first in small venues, then grand halls, and the world falls in love. Critics call it a masterpiece, a work that feels timeless, as if it's always existed. Daniel's name becomes synonymous with genius, but a quiet question hums in his heart. Who wrote the symphony? Years flow by, gentle as a breeze. In 2070, time travel is a reality, a marvel as common as starlight. Daniel, now older, his hands still, steady, feels the weight of the recording's mystery. He's celebrated, his symphony a cultural treasure, but its origin remains a riddle, like a note that won't resolve. With a time machine ticket, he decides to travel to 2080, to the year on the disc, to share his music with the future and perhaps find its source. The machine hums, its light soft and inviting, and Daniel steps through, the world blurring into a tapestry of tomorrow. The year 2080 is a world of quiet beauty, where cities glow with gentle light and music fills the air like a heartbeat. Daniel wanders a vibrant plaza, his symphony playing faintly in the distance, cherished by a new generation. He carries the recording, its vinyl warm in his hands, and visits a music school, its halls alive with young artists. There, he meets a student, a young composer with eyes full of dreams, and feels a pull, as if time is nudging him. On a whim, he gives her the disc, unlabeled, a gift to inspire her work. He imagines her listening, her heart stirred, just as his was all those years ago. The act feels right, like a chord resolving, and Daniel returns to 2070, his studio unchanged, the symphony's echo still warm. This is the ontological paradox, a loop where existence defies origin. The symphony exists because Daniel gave it to the student, but he only had it because it was sent back to 2035. It has no composer, no beginning, like a melody born from time itself. The paradox asks, who created the music? Was it Daniel, the future, or the universe's quiet song? The answer is a circle, endless and soothing, a riddle that hums as you drift toward rest. Let's linger on Daniel's story, gentle and curious. Picture him in 2035, the turntable spinning, the symphony filling the candlelit room. Now, picture him in 2080, handing the disc to the student, the plaza alive with light. The two moments are one, each enabling the other a loop with no start. The paradox whispers, where did the symphony begin? Did it spring from a single mind, or is it eternal, passed through time like a star's glow? The question floats like a note held in the air, calming yet elusive. Some say the ontological paradox suggests time allows objects to exist without creation, sourceless and eternal. The symphony is a cousin gift, a fragment of the universe's heart, looping through history without a birthplace. Scientists ponder if such loops are stable, ideas, or objects held in time's gentle embrace, needing no origin. Philosophers wonder if it hints at a reality where creation is an illusion, where all things are timeless, waiting to be found. Imagine the symphony, its notes dancing in an endless cycle, carried by time's soft current, a melody that belongs to no one and everyone. Others argue there's a hidden source, a forgotten composer whose work was caught in the loop, their name lost to time's passage. Or perhaps Daniel shaped the symphony, his soul blending with the future's echo, creating something new yet ancient. The truth is soft, like a whisper in the night, and it doesn't need solving. The paradox invites you to rest in its mystery, to let the question cradle you as you relax. Daniel sits in his studio now, years after his journey, the piano quiet, the candles glowing. He's older, his eyes crinkled with wisdom, his heart at peace. The symphony plays softly in his mind, its notes familiar yet always new. He doesn't need to know where it began. It's his, yet not his, a melody that belongs to time. The night outside is vast, the stars twinkling, each a note, each a loop, each a paradox waiting to be heard. Daniel feels part of something larger, a cycle that spins beyond his understanding, and it's enough. What would you create if time could carry it forever? Imagine crafting a song, a story, a dream, knowing it might echo through the ages, sourceless and free. Would you share it, trusting its journey, or hold it close, seeking its roots? The question is gentle, a thought to hold as you drift. The ontological paradox doesn't ask for answers. It invites you to feel the pulse of time, its quiet gifts, its endless circles. Daniel's story is a reminder that creation echoes, soft and eternal, like a melody across the years. Some say the paradox suggests time is a canvas, painted with ideas that need no painter. Others believe it's a mirror reflecting our own creations back to us, disguised as destiny. Picture Daniel, his studio glowing, The symphony, a silent partner in his work. He's a dreamer within a loop, yet he feels whole, his heart light as he rests in the time's embrace. The paradox wraps around him, warm and familiar, like a blanket under the stars. It's not about solving the riddle. It's about sinking into its calm, letting it guide you deeper into peace. As we leave Daniel's story, let your mind soften. Picture the studio in 2035, the candles flickering, the symphony alive in the air. Now, picture the plaza in 2080, the disc in the student's hands, the future humming with possibility. The ontological paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a melody fading into dawn, guiding you toward calm. The universe is kind, its mysteries soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as air. Daniel's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip toward sleep. Let the candles dim, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Tonight, we drift into the twin paradox, a story that stretches time like a ribbon across the stars, soft and wondrous, like a dream that lingers just beyond reach. Picture yourself floating in the vastness of space, galaxies glowing faintly as we step into a tale that explores how time bends for those who chase the light. Let's wander together, slowly, into this soothing enigma. Imagine two sisters, Ava and Zoe, twins bound by love and laughter, living in the year 2070. Their home is a cozy apartment in a city, where lights pulse like fireflies, the air filled with the hum of progress. Ava is a dreamer, her eyes always on the stars, her heart set on exploring the cosmos. Zoe is her anchor, grounded and warm, content to build a life on Earth. They share everything, secrets, smiles, a bond that feels unbreakable. But Ava's passion leads her to a bold choice. She joins a mission to travel near the speed of light, aboard a sleek spaceship that gleams like a comet. Zoe stays behind, promising to wait, their farewell filled with soft hugs and whispered hopes. Ava's ship, the Stellar Wing, is a marvel, its interior a cocoon of gentle light and humming consoles. She trains for months, learning to navigate the stars, her excitement a quiet fire. The mission is simple. Travel to a distant star system, a journey that will take 1 year in the ship's time and return to Earth. But there's a catch, one Ava knows from her studies. Einstein's theory of relativity, a quiet law of the universe, says time moves slower for those moving near light speed. For Ava Phantom, racing through the cosmos, time stretch, while for Zoe on Earth, it will flow as always. The twins part with a promise to reunite, their bond a thread across the stars. Ava boards the Stellar Wing, her heart light. The ships hum a soothing melody. The engines roar, and she's pressed into her seat as the ship accelerates, stars blurring into streaks of light. The journey feels like a dream. Each day aboard the ship filled with quiet tasks, checking instruments, gazing at nebulae, writing letters to Zoe she'll never send. Time aboard feels normal, the ship's clock ticking steadily, its rhythm a comfort. Ava exercises, reads, and dreams of the reunion, imagining Zoe's smile, their laughter filling the apartment. After a year, the ship turns, its path arcing back to Earth, and Ava feels a quiet thrill, ready to return home. When the stellar wing lands in 2071, Ava steps onto Earth, her heart racing with anticipation. The air is familiar, the city's hum unchanged, but something feels off. She searches for Zoe, expecting her twin's warm embrace, but the reunion is not what she imagined. Zoe is there, waiting, but she's decades older, her hair silvered, her face etched with lines of time. The world has aged, 30 years while Ava was gone, time dilation stretching the gap between them. Ava, still young, her body untouched by the decades, feels a quiet shock, like stepping into a mirror that shows a stranger. Zoe smiles, her eyes warm but heavy, and they hold each other, their bond intact but changed, like a song played in a new key. This is the twin paradox, a riddle that hums with the quirks of time. Ava's journey, near the speed of light, slowed her clock relative to Zoe's, making her leap forward in time. But if Ava could travel back, using a time machine to return to 2070, would Zoe be young again, or would she step into a new reality? The paradox teases, is time travel a one-way path, or can it loop back to rewrite what's been stretched? The question is soft, like a star's light, inviting wonder without urgency. Let's linger on Ava and Zoe's story, gentle and curious. Picture Ava aboard the stellar wing, the stars streaming past, her heart full of Zoe's memory. Now, picture Zoe on Earth, years passing, her love for Ava steady as she ages. The paradox asks, how does time choose who it holds and who it releases? Ava's clock ticked slower, not Zoe's, yet their bond endures, a thread that time can't break. The question drifts like a comet's glow, soothing yet elusive. Scientists explain the twin paradox through relativity, a quiet truth of the cosmos. Time dilation is no trick, it's a law as real as gravity. Ava's ship, moving near light speed, experienced time differently, each second aboard stretched compared to Earth's. But the paradox deepens with time travel. If Ava could leap back to 2070, she'd likely find a new timeline, not her original past. A world where Zoe's youth exists in a different story. The universe might split, each reality holding its own truth, like ripples spreading across a pond. The idea feels like a lullaby, soothing and vast, a cosmos that cradles every possibility. Ava and Zoe sit together now, years after the reunion, in a quiet garden where flowers nod in the breeze. Ava is still young, her eyes bright with the stars she's seen, while Zoe, older, carries a gentle wisdom. They talk, their voices soft, weaving memories of the shared past and separate journeys. The gap in time feels less heavy now, softened by love, like a melody that finds harmony despite its changes. Ava wonders if she'd choose the journey again, knowing it would stretch time between them. Zoe smiles, saying she'd wait forever, their bond a constant in time's shifting tides. What would you chase if you could outrun time? Imagine stepping into a ship, the stars calling, knowing time would bend around you. Would you race toward the future, or stay where time flows steady, holding those you love? The question is gentle, a thought to cradle as you drift. The twin paradox doesn't demand answers. It invites you to feel the stretch of time, its quiet power, its tender shifts. Ava and Zoe's story is a reminder that time shapes us, soft and relentless, like a river carving stone. Some say the paradox shows time is a one-way stream, its flow unyielding, even for travelers of the stars. Others believe it's a tapestry, woven with threads that can loop or split, holding every moment in balance. Picture Ava and Zoe, their garden glowing, the stars above a silent witness. They're sisters in a world of stretched time, and yet they feel whole, their hearts light as they rest in time's embrace. The paradox wraps around them, warm and familiar, like a blanket under the cosmos. It's not about solving the riddle, it's about sinking into its calm, letting it guide you deeper into peace. As we leave Ava and Zoe's story, let your mind soften. Picture the stellar wing, its hum lingering, the stars a blur of light. Now, picture the garden, the sisters' voices blending, the night sky vast. The twin paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a star's glow fading into dawn, guiding you toward calm. The universe is kind, its mystery soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as stardust. Ava and Zoe's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip toward sleep. Let the stars dim, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Welcome, traveler, to another gentle bend in our journey through the mysteries of time. Tonight, we glide into the causal loop, paradox, a story that weaves events into an endless circle, soft and mesmerizing, like a dream that folds back on itself. Picture yourself resting by a calm lake, its surface reflecting the stars, as we step into a tale that blurs the line between cause and effect. Let's wander together, slowly, into this soothing enigma. Imagine a detective named Lila, working in a quiet office in the year 2045. Her desk is lit by the soft glow of a single lamp, casting warm shadows over case files and handwritten notes. The air carries the faint scent of coffee, a comfort in her late-night work. Lila is sharp, her mind a map of clues and connections, her heart driven by a need to uncover truth. She's been assigned a mysterious case, a crime that baffles her colleagues, a theft with no leads, no witnesses, only a trail of cryptic evidence that seems to lead nowhere. Lila pores over the files, her pen tapping softly, chasing a solution that feels just out of reach, like a star hidden by clouds. One evening, as rain drums gently against the window, Lila finds a journal tucked among her papers, its leather cover worn but familiar. She opens it, her breath catching as she recognizes her own handwriting, though she doesn't recall writing it. The pages detail the theft case, every clue, every step laid out with precision, leading to a solution that names the culprit and their motive. At the bottom of the final page, a date, 2070, 25 years in the future. Lila's mind hums with questions, but her heart stays calm, as if the journal is a friend she's always known. The solution feels right, like a puzzle piece clicking into place, and she decides to trust it. Lila follows the journal's guidance, her steps deliberate, her focus soft but steady. She visits hidden corners of the city, interviews overlooked witnesses, and uncovers evidence exactly where the journal predicts. Each clue builds on the last, a path that feels both new and familiar, as if she's walked it before. The case unravels, the thief revealed, and Lila's work earns quiet praise. Her colleagues marvel at her insight, calling it a breakthrough. But Lila keeps the journal's existence to herself, its pages a secret that hums with mystery. She wonders where it came from, how her future self could know so much, but the question is gentle like a breeze stirring the lake's surface. Years flow by, soft as a whisper. In 2070, time travel is a reality, a service as common as a phone call. Lila, now retired, her hair touched with gray, feels the journal's mystery like an old song. She's content, her career a tapestry of solved cases, but the theft case stands out. Its solution a gift from a future she's now living. With a time machine ticket, she decides to revisit 2045 to understand the journal's origin, to see her younger self at work. The machine glows, its hum a soothing melody, and Lila steps through, the world blurring into the past. The year 2045 is vibrant, its streets alive with the hum of hovercars and neon signs. Lila blends in, her clothes chosen to match the era, her presence quiet, like a shadow passing through. She visits her old office, watching her younger self from a distance, the lamps glow framing the desk. The sight stirs memories, warm and bittersweet, of late nights and stubborn clues. On a whim, Lila leaves the journal among the case files, its pages filled with the solution she wrote in 2070, drawn from her memory of the case. She imagines her younger self finding it, eyes wide, just as she did all those years ago. The act feels right, like a knot tied in a ribbon, and Lila returns to 2070, her office unchanged, the journal still on her shelf. This is the causal loop paradox, a loop where events create themselves. The journal exists because Lila wrote it in 2070, but she only wrote it because she found it in 2045. The solution to the case has no origin, no moment of creation, like a river flowing into itself. The paradox asks, where did the knowledge begin? Was it Lila, the future, or time's quiet dance? The answer is a circle, warm and endless, a riddle that hums as you drift toward rest. Let's linger on Lila's story, gentle and curious. Picture her in 2045, the journal open under lamplight, her heart racing with possibility. Now, picture her in 2070 writing the pages, the city glowing beyond her window. The two moments are one, each enabling the other, a loop with no start. The paradox whispers, who solved the case? Did Lila find the truth, or did time hand it to her wrapped in her own handwriting? The question floats like a reflection on the lake, calming yet elusive. Some say the causal loop paradox suggests destiny guides our paths, our actions scripted by time's gentle hand. Lila had to find. The journal had to write it, because the loop demanded it. Her choices feel free, but they're part of a larger pattern, a tapestry woven before she began. Others argue she shaped the loop, her will blending with fate, like colors in a twilight sky. Imagine the journal, its pages turning in an endless cycle, carried by time's soft current, a story that belongs to no one and everyone. Others propose the loop is a system, stable and self-sustaining, like a clock that winds itself. The journal's knowledge is a gift, sourceless and eternal, a fragment of time's mind. Scientists ponder if such loops are common, information circling through history, needing no origin. Philosophers wonder if it hints at a reality where cause and effect are illusions, where all moments are linked in a timeless dance. The truth is soft, like a whisper in the dark, and it doesn't need solving. The paradox invites you to rest in its mystery, to let the question cradle you as you relax. Lila sits in her office now, years after her journey, the journal open before her. She's older, her hands steady, her heart at peace. The pages feel like an old friend, their words familiar, yet always new. She doesn't need to know where the solution began. It's hers, yet not hers, a story that belongs to time. The lamp glows, the night outside vast, and Lila feels part of something larger, a cycle that spins beyond her understanding. The stars twinkle, each a clue, each a loop, each a paradox waiting to be told. What would you do with a glimpse of your future? Imagine finding a journal, a letter, a whisper from tomorrow, guiding your hand. Would you follow its path, trusting its certainty, or carve your own, seeking its source? The question is gentle, a thought to hold as you drift. The causal loop paradox doesn't ask for answers. It invites you to feel the flow of time, its quiet gifts, its endless circles. Lila's story is a reminder that every moment echoes, soft and eternal, like a ripple across the lake. Some say the paradox proves our lives are woven into time's fabric, our choices both free and fated. Others believe it's a mirror, reflecting our own actions back to us, disguised as destiny. Picture Lila, her office glowing, the journal a silent partner in her work. She's a detective within a loop, yet she feels whole, her heart light as she rests in time's embrace. The paradox wraps around her, warm and familiar, like a blanket under the stars. It's not about solving the riddle. It's about sinking into its calm, letting it guide you, deeper into peace. As we leave Lila's story, let your mind soften. Picture the office in 2045. The lamp's glow lingering, the journal waiting. Now picture 2070. Lila's pen moving, the stars beyond vast. The causal loop paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a ripple fading into dusk, guiding you toward calm. The universe is kind, its mysteries soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as air. Lila's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip toward sleep. Let the lamp dim, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Tonight, we step into Newcomb's Paradox, a story that dances with choice and foresight, soft and thought-provoking, like a dream that whispers of possibilities. Picture yourself seated in a tranquil room, soft lights glowing, as we wander into a tale that questions free will and the shadows of the future. Let's drift together slowly into this soothing enigma. Imagine a young woman named Maya, standing on a sleek stage in the year 2055. The air hums with anticipation, the room bathed in the warm glow of floating orbs. Maya is a contestant on a futuristic game show, her heart steady but curious, her mind sharp with the thrill of the unknown. The show is unlike any other, hosted by an enigmatic figure known only as the Oracle, a time traveler whose eyes seem to hold the secrets of tomorrow. The audience watches, hushed, as Maya faces a challenge that blends chance, choice, and the strange mechanics of time. She's been chosen for her quick wit, but now, standing under the soft lights, she feels the weight of a decision that could change her life. The oracle steps forward, their voice smooth as velvet, explaining the rules with a calm that soothes the room. Before Maya are two boxes, both transparent, their contents gleaming under the stage's glow. Box A contains $1,000, a modest sum that sparkles with certainty. Box B is more mysterious. It holds either $1 million or nothing, its contents hidden until Maya makes her choice. The oracle reveals their power. Using time travel, they've seen Maya's decision before she makes it. If they predict she'll take both boxes, Box B will be empty. If they predict she'll take only Box B, it will hold the million. The rules are simple but dizzying, a puzzle that feels like a gentle tug on the threads of fate. Maya stares at the boxes, her breath even, her thoughts swirling like leaves in a quiet wind. She can take both boxes, securing the $1,000 and whatever Box B holds, or she can take only Box B, trusting the oracle's foresight to reward her with the million. The choice seems straightforward, but the oracle's time travel complicates everything. If Maya chooses both, the oracle, knowing this in advance, will have left Box B empty, leaving her with just $1,000. If she chooses Box B alone, the oracle will have predicted her fate, filling it with the million. Yet the boxes are already set, their contents fixed before she decides. The future seems to shape the past, and the past seems to guide her choice, a loop that hums with quiet tension. This is Newcomb's Paradox, a riddle that ties time travel to the heart of free will. Maya's decision appears free, but the oracle's foresight, enabled by time travel, locks her choice into a cycle where the future influences the present. If she trusts the oracle's prediction, she should take Box B alone, betting on the million. But if she doubts, taking both boxes guarantees at least $1,000, though it risks losing more. The paradox asks, can Maya truly choose? Or is her decision already written in time's gentle script? The question is soft, like a star's flicker, inviting wonder without urgency. Let's linger on Maya's story, gentle and curious. Picture her on the stage, the boxes glowing, the oracle's calm gaze steady. The audience fades, and it's just Maya, her thoughts, a quiet dance between trust and logic. The paradox whispers, does time travel bind her choice, or does her will shape the future the oracle sees? If she chooses Box B, she aligns with the prediction, but if she chooses both, she defies it, yet ensures a lesser prize. The question drifts like a candle's flame, soothing yet elusive. Maya weighs her options, her mind tracing paths like ripples on a pond. Logic pulls her toward both boxes, since the contents are already set. Taking both seems to maximize her gain, securing the $1,000 and any chance at the million. But the oracle's time travel shifts the ground beneath her. If she picks both, the oracle, having seen this, will have left Box B empty, as if her choice rewrites the past. Trusting the oracle feels like surrendering to fate, yet it promises the greater reward. Maya's heart leans toward Box B alone, a quiet instinct that feels like a leap into the unknown, a trust in time's strange dance. Philosophers pondering Newcomb's Paradox offer gentle theories, like stars in a night sky. Some say it reveals a clash between free will and determinism, especially with time travel's twist. The oracle's foresight, peering into Maya's future, suggests her choice is fixed, a note already played in time's melody. Yet Maya feels free, her decision hers to make, as if she could rewrite the oracle's vision. The loop her choice shaping the prediction shaping her choice, feels like a lullaby, soothing and intricate. A universe where will and fate intertwine. Others propose the paradox hinges on trust, not time. If Maya believes the oracle's predictions are flawless, box B is the rational choice, aligning with the future the oracle sees. But if she doubts, both boxes feel safer, guarding against an empty promise. Time, travel adds a layer, making the oracle's knowledge not just a guess but a glimpse of reality. Some theorists imagine parallel timelines, where Maya's choice splits the world. One where she takes box B and wins, another where she takes both and walks away with less. The idea feels like a warm blanket, a cosmos that holds every outcome in its gentle embrace. Maya makes her choice, her hand steady, her heart calm. She reaches for box B alone, a quiet act of trust in the oracle's foresight. The box opens, revealing the million, and the audience murmurs, their applause soft as a distant wave. Maya smiles, not for the money but for the feeling of harmony, as if she's danced with time and found its rhythm. She wonders if she was free, or if the oracle's vision guided her hand, but the question is light, like a feather on the wind. The stage fades and Maya feels at peace, part of a mystery larger than herself. What would you choose in a game where time knows your move? Imagine standing before two boxes, a time traveler's gaze upon you, your choice echoing through past and future. Would you trust the prediction, or carve your own path defying the script? The question is gentle, a thought to cradle as you drift. Newcomb's paradox doesn't demand answers. It invites you to feel the weight of choice, its quiet power, its tender ties to time. Maya's story is a reminder that decisions ripple, soft and far-reaching, like a whisper across the stars. Some say the paradox suggests our choices are shadows of a future already seen, our freedom an illusion in time's gentle grip. Others believe it's a dance, where will shapes the future, even under the eyes of time travelers. Picture Maya, the stage glowing, the boxes a silent challenge. She's a dreamer in a world of loops, yet she feels whole, her heart light as she rests in time's embrace. The paradox wraps around her, warm and familiar, like a blanket under the cosmos. It's not about solving the riddle, it's about sinking into its calm, letting it guide you deeper into peace. As we leave Maya's story, let your mind soften. Picture the stage in 2055, the orbs glow lingering, the boxes gleaming. Now, picture Maya, her choice made, the future unfolding like a quiet song. Newcomb's paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a star's light fading into dawn, guiding you toward calm. The universe is kind, its mystery soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as air. Maya's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip towards sleep. Let the lights dim, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Welcome, traveler, to another gentle fold in our journey through the mysteries of time. Tonight, we slip into the consistency paradox, a story that weaves the past into the present with a tender thread, soft and harmonious, like a dream that feels destined to unfold. Picture yourself seated in a cozy lecture hall, the air warm with anticipation, as we step into a tale that questions how our actions shape the very moments that inspire us. Let's wander together, slowly, into this soothing enigma. Imagine a young student named Noah, sitting in his dorm room in the year 2065. The space is lit by the soft glow of a desk lamp, casting a warm circle over textbooks and scattered notes. The air carries the faint scent of ink and coffee, a comfort in Noah's late-night studies. He's a physics major, his mind alight with the wonders of time travel, his heart set on unraveling the universe's secrets. Noah idolizes a physicist named Dr. Elena Voss, a pioneer whose lectures on temporal mechanics have shaped his dreams. Her words, recorded in grainy videos, spark his passion, guiding him toward a career he can almost touch, like a star just within reach. One evening, as moonlight filters through the window, Noah learns that time travel, once a theory, is now a reality, a service offered to those with the means to explore. His university has a program, and Noah, with a scholarship grant, secures a ticket to 2020, the year Dr. Voss gave a legendary lecture that changed the field. He wants to see her in person, to hear her voice unfiltered, to witness the moment that set his path. The idea feels like a quiet calling, a chance to connect with the source of his inspiration. Noah programs the time machine, its hum a soothing melody, and steps through, the world blurring into a tapestry of the past. The year 2020 unfolds like a memory, its air crisp with the scent of autumn leaves. Noah arrives at a bustling campus where students hurry between brick buildings, their voices a soft hum. He slips into a lecture hall, its seats worn but welcoming, and finds a spot in the back, unnoticed. Dr. Voss stands at the podium, younger than in her videos, her eyes bright with passion as she speaks of time's possibilities. Noah listens, spellbound, her words weaving equations into stories, igniting the same fire he felt in 2065. He's careful not to draw attention, a silent observer, but his presence feels significant, like a note in a larger melody. As the lecture ends, Noah lingers, watching the Dr. Voss pack her notes. He notices her glance at the audience, expression shifting, as if inspired by the crowd's energy. Later, he learns she began her groundbreaking work on time travel shortly after this talk, a shift that led to the theories that inspired him. Noah returns to 2065, his heart full, the time machine's hum cradling him like a lullaby. His dorm room is unchanged, Dr. Voss's videos still on his screen, but a quiet question hums in his mind. Did his Hawaii presence in 2020 influence her? Without his trip, would she have pursued the path that shaped his future? This is the consistency paradox, a loop where the past and future hold each other in balance. Noah's journey to 2020 may have inspired Dr. Voss, ensuring the work that led him to time travel. But if he hadn't gone, her inspiration might have faltered, altering the timeline that sent him back. The paradox asks, where does the cycle begin? Was it Noah's choice, Dr. Voss's passion, or time's gentle nudge? The answer is a circle, warm and seamless, a riddle that hums as you drift toward rest. Let's linger on Noah's story, gentle and curious. Picture him in 2065, the lamp's glow framing his notes, Dr. Voss's voice echoing in his ears. Now, picture him in the 2020, seated in the lecture hall, his quiet presence a spark in the air. The two moments are one, each, enabling the other a loop with no start. The paradox whispers, who shaped the future? Did Noah's trip create the path, or was it always there, waiting for him to walk it? The question floats like a leaf on a stream, calming yet elusive. Some say the consistency paradox suggests time enforces harmony, a quiet rule that aligns events to avoid contradiction. Noah's presence in 2020 was part of the timeline, a necessary note in time's melody, ensuring Dr. Voss's work unfolded as it did. The universe might nudge actions to stay consistent, like a river smoothing its own course. Others argue Noah's choice was free, his journey a spark that ignited Dr. Voss's path, blending will and destiny in a gentle dance. Imagine the lecture hall, its air alive with ideas, Noah's quiet gaze a catalyst, a moment that holds the future in its embrace. Another theory hums softly, like a distant star. Perhaps time allows loops that are self-sustaining, where cause and effect blur into a single, stable cycle. Noah's trip and Dr. Voss's inspiration are two sides of the same coin, each creating the other, needing no origin. Scientists ponder if such loops are common, moments circling through history, held in time's gentle hand. Philosophers wonder if it hints at a reality where all events are linked, a tapestry where every thread supports the whole. The idea feels like a lullaby, soothing and intricate, a cosmos that cradles its own story. Noah sits in his dorm now, years after his journey, his textbooks replaced by research papers. He's older, his eyes crinkled with wisdom, his heart still alight with Dr. Voss's ideas. The time machine is a memory, its hum a quiet echo, but the lecture hall lingers in, his mind vivid and warm. He doesn't need to know where the loop began. It's his story, yet not his alone, a cycle that belongs to time. The lamp glows, the night outside vast, and Noah feels part of something larger, a rhythm that spins beyond his understanding. The stars twinkle, each a moment, each a loop, each a paradox waiting to be lived. What moment would you visit to shape your future? Imagine stepping into a memory, a lecture, a chance encounter, knowing your presence might echo through time. Would you go, trusting the cycle, or stay, letting time weave its own path? The question is gentle a thought to hold as you drift. The consistency paradox doesn't ask for answers. It invites you to feel the pulse of time, its quiet, harmony, its tender loops. Noah's story is a reminder that every action echoes soft and eternal, like a whisper across the years. Some say the paradox proves our lives are part of time's design, our choices woven into its fabric, both free and fated. Others believe it's a mirror, reflecting our own actions back to us, disguised as destiny. Picture Noah, his dorm glowing, Dr. Voss's voice a silent partner in his work. He's a student within a loop, yet he feels whole, his heart light as he rests in time's embrace. The paradox wraps around him, warm and familiar, like a blanket under the stars. It's not about solving the riddle. It's about sinking into its calm, letting it guide you deeper into peace. As we leave Noah's story, let your mind soften. Picture the dorm in 2065, the lamp's glow lingering, the notes alive with possibility. Now, picture the lecture hall in 2020, Noah's quiet presence a spark in the air. The consistency paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a star's light fading into dawn, guiding you toward calm. The universe is kind, its mystery soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as air. Noah's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip toward sleep. Let the lamp dim, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. Tonight, we step into the butterfly effect paradox, a story that trembles with the delicate weight of small actions, gentle and profound, like a dream that shifts with a single breath. Picture yourself walking through a quiet forest, leaves whispering underfoot, as we wander into a tale that questions how the tiniest change can reshape the world. Let's drift together slowly into this soothing enigma. Imagine an explorer named Ivy, standing in a sleek time travel station in the year 2080. The air hums with the soft glow of temporal devices, their light casting a warm halo around her. Ivy is a historian, her heart tuned to the stories of the past, her mind sharp with the responsibility of her work. She's been trained to observe, to leave no trace, to let history unfold untouched. Her latest mission is to visit 1800, a time of candlelit villages and untouched wilderness, to document a forgotten moment in a forest's history. The time portal shimmers before her, its hum a quiet lullaby, and Ivy feels a gentle thrill, like stepping into a painting she's always loved. She adjusts her gear, her clothes tailored to blend into the era, and steps through the portal, the world blurring into shades of green and gold. The year 1800 greets her with a chorus of birdsong, the air rich with the scent of pine and earth. Ivy finds herself in a dense forest, sunlight filtering through towering trees, their branches swaying in a soft breeze. She moves carefully, her boots light on the mossy ground, her eyes drinking in the details, the curve of a fern, the dart of a squirrel, the delicate petals scattering in a quiet dance of a wildflower. Her mission is simple: observe, sketch, and return, leaving the past as she found it, a page in Time's book undisturbed. As Ivy walks, her heart light, she brushes against a cluster of flowers. Their seed, the act is small, a moment she barely notices, her focus on the forest's beauty. She completes her observations, filling her notebook with the gentle sketches, and returns to the portal, its glow welcoming her back to 2080. The station is unchanged, the hum of machines a familiar comfort, and Ivy submits her report, content with her work. She expects to find the present as she left it, a world shaped by the history she knows, but something feels off, like a note played slightly out of tune. Back in 2080, Ivy notices subtle differences. The city's skyline has shifted, its towers leaning in unfamiliar angles. News reports mention plants she's never seen, species that dominate fields and forests, altering ecosystems and economies. Digging deeper, she learns of historical changes, villages that thrived instead of fading, wars fought over new resources, a world reshaped by a cascade of events. The wildflower's seeds, scattered by her touch in 1800, grew into a new species, one that spread across continents, changing agriculture, trade, even the course of nations. Ivy's small act, a brush of her sleeve, has rewritten the present, like a single drop rippling across a vast lake. This is the butterfly effect paradox, a riddle that hums with the power of tiny changes. Ivy's action in the past, so small it seemed, insignificant, set off a chain of events that transformed the future. Yet, as a time traveler, she was meant to leave no mark, to preserve the timeline she knew. The paradox asks, how can one travel through time without altering it? Every step, every breath, risks a ripple that grows into a wave, reshaping the world in ways no one can predict. The question is soft, like a leaf falling, inviting wonder without urgency. Let's linger on Ivy's story, gentle and curious. Picture her in the forest of 1800, the wildflowers swaying, her notebook open to capture the moment. Now picture her in 2080, standing in a city she no longer fully recognizes, the weight of her unintended change settling around her. The paradox whispers, can time travelers ever be invisible? Does every journey risk a butterfly's wing, stirring storms far beyond their sight? The question drifts like pollen on the wind, soothing yet elusive. Ivy sits in a quiet archive, poring over records to trace the ripple she caused. The new plant, born from those scattered seeds, fed communities, shifted trade routes, and altered alliances. Each change begat another, a web so vast it humbles her. She wonders if her mission was flawed, if she could have moved more carefully, or if the paradox is inevitable, time's nature too fragile to touch. Some theorists suggest time is delicate, amplifying every action into chaos, like a butterfly's flutter sparking a hurricane. A single step in the past could rewrite history, making time travel a dance on a razor's edge where perfection is impossible. Others propose time is resilient, absorbing small changes into its flow, like a river smoothing over pebbles. Perhaps Ivy's action was meant to happen, a thread in time's tapestry, destined to weave the world she now sees. The altered present feels stable, as if it's always been, and Ivy wonders if her role was to plant the seed, not avoid it. Some imagine parallel timelines, where her unchanged world still exists untouched, while this new reality branches off, a story born from a single flower. The idea feels like a lullaby, soothing and vast, a cosmos that holds every outcome in its gentle embrace. Ivy walks through the altered city now, years after her discovery, a wildflower tucked in her pocket, its petals a quiet reminder. She's older, her eyes soft with wisdom, her heart at peace with the mystery. The world is different, but it's beautiful. It's people thriving in ways she hadn't imagined. She doesn't need to know if she caused the change or merely followed time's script. Her journey feels like a gift, a chance to see time's power, its delicate balance, its endless possibilities. The stars above twinkle, each a moment, each a ripple, each a paradox waiting to unfold. What small act would you change if you could touch the past? Imagine stepping into a moment, a brush of your hand, a word, spoken softly, knowing it might reshape everything. Would you tread lightly, fearing the ripple, or embrace it, trusting time's flow? The question is gentle, a thought to cradle as you drift. The butterfly effect. Paradox doesn't demand answers. It invites you to feel the weight of time, its quiet power, its tender shifts. Ivy's story is a reminder that every action echoes, soft and far-reaching, like a seed carried on the wind. Some say the paradox suggests time is a fragile web, where every touch risks unraveling the present. Others believe it's a resilient stream, weaving changes into its current, holding the world in balance. Picture Ivy, the city glowing, the wildflower a silent partner in her journey. She's an explorer in a world of ripples, yet she feels whole, her heart light as she rests in time's embrace. The paradox wraps around her, warm and familiar, like a blanket under the stars. It's not about solving the riddle. It's about sinking into its calm, letting it guide you deeper into peace. As we leave Ivy's story, let your mind soften. Picture the forest in 1800, the wildflowers dancing, the air alive with possibility. Now, picture the city in 2080, its towers new, the stars beyond vast. The butterfly effect. Paradox is a lullaby, puzzling and gentle, inviting you to rest. You don't need to unravel it tonight. Let it drift, like a petal falling into dusk, guiding you toward calm. The universe is kind, its mysteries soft, and you're safe here, floating in its quiet embrace. Feel yourself sinking deeper, your thoughts light as air. Ivy's story fades, but its echo remains, a soothing hum in the background. The paradox is a dream now, distant and warm, holding you gently as you slip towards sleep. Let the forest fade, let the world blur, let time itself become a whisper. You're here in this moment, and that's enough. Rest now, traveler, and let the paradox cradle you into the night. So, traveler, our journey through the winding paths of time draws to a close, a gentle fading of starlight in the quiet night. We've wandered through 12 paradoxes, each a soft puzzle, a whisper from the universe, weaving stories of loops, choices, and ripples that echo beyond our grasp. These tales, like dreams, have carried us across the cosmos, from forgotten forests to glowing stages, from silent stars to candlelit studios, each moment a thread in time's endless tapestry. Now, as the night deepens, let these stories settle around you, warm and comforting, like a blanket woven from the soft glow of distant galaxies. Imagine yourself now floating in a sea of stars, the universe vast and kind, its mysteries cradling you like a gentle tide. The paradoxes we've explored, the Bootstrap's sourceless book, the grandfather's tangled past, the butterfly's delicate ripple, don't need answers tonight. They're gentle riddles, meant to spark wonder, to lull your mind as you drift toward sleep. Each story is a star, twinkling just for you, its light a quiet promise. The universe is full of secrets, each one waiting patiently for another night, another dream, another journey. If you're still awake, thank you for walking this path with me, for letting my voice guide you through time's soft corners. Your presence, here in this moment, is a gift, a quiet connection across the vastness of the cosmos. If you're slipping into dreams, let my words be a gentle current carrying you deeper into rest, where time bends and stars sing. This video is a haven, a place to return whenever the world feels heavy, whenever you need a moment to float, to wonder, to simply be. Picture a clock with no hands, its soft ticking a melody that counts moments without haste. The paradoxes we've shared are like that. Clock, timeless and patient, their questions a soothing hum that needs no resolution. They remind us that time is not a line, but a circle, a dance of moments that hold us gently, even as we sleep. Let the weight of the day dissolve, let your thoughts soften, let the universe wrap you in its quiet embrace. You're safe here, a traveler in a story that never truly ends. As we part, imagine the stars above, each one a paradox, a story, a dream waiting to unfold. They'll be here when you return, ready to guide you through new mysteries, new loops, new whispers from time's heart. For now, let your breath slow, your heart ease, your mind drift like a leaf on a calm stream. The universe is vast, but it's kind. Its arms wide enough to hold you as you rest. Good night, traveler, my friend across the stars. May your dreams be as boundless as time, as gentle as these tales, as warm as the light that carries you home. Sleep deeply, wrapped in the soft glow of paradoxes, and know that the universe is watching. Its mystery's a lullaby just for you. Rest now, and let the night carry you into its quiet, endless embrace.